Critical reflection number 3. How did your production skills develop throughout this project? In order for me to create an opening sequence to submit for my 2025 CIE examinations, I had to start from learning the very basics, the meaning and understanding of the term mise en scene. Soon after which, we were given our first practical assignment. Our teacher gave us a few prompts which we had to capture, such as a person smiling or two people having an intense conversation. This, along with being our first practical, was also our very first group project and helped us learn how to work alongside different people. For this project, we got to choose who gets to be in our groups. Afterwards, we were taught different types of camera shots and angles. After our teacher gave us a brief of what each camera shot is called, we were given our first practical individual assignments. For this, we were given a list of various camera shots that we had to capture, further solidifying our understanding of them. As the year progressed, we were given our first video assignment labeled a preliminary exercise. Before this assignment, we were taught the rule of thirds, shot reverse shot, and over the shoulder shots, and were told to capture this in a short sequence. This again was a group project where we could select our partners. It gave us the experience of working alongside others in harmony as well as teaching us the rules followed by the filmmakers. After this, we were taught lighting techniques and its types such as key light, fill light, etc. We were given a photo assignment as a group task where each group was given a genre, which for my group was film noir. Using the different types of lights and props, we had to try our best to recreate the genre and take photos using various lighting techniques. This helped in enhancing our understanding of lighting techniques and how to blur or tint lights as per requirement. Again, working in groups so we learn how to cooperate and work in unity, taking everyone's ideas under consideration. Another assignment we had to work on was a reenactment sequence. For this, we chose to recreate a scene from the TV series Friends, as it fit the mise en scene within our college premises the best. And due to this being another group project, many of the group participants couldn't gather at any other location as it was inconvenient for them. The purpose of this project was to see how well students can take a real media text and translate it into something that they've made, using resources that were conveniently available to them, and improvising to create a similar and or identical mise en scene to the ones being recreated. This project helped us learn how to improvise and work well with the materials that we already have readily available, and it is because of this project that I was able to overcome problems during the production stage of my film that I will be talking about as we move further. After the reenactment sequence, we were assigned a chasing sequence. This sequence helped us channel our creativity as people used various genres to create such sequences. It helped us learn more about camera work and the importance of handheld shots, POV shots, close-up shots, and more, and how they all come together in harmony to form something that evokes different emotions in the eyes of the viewer. For our very last assignment, we were paired up with A2 students and complete strangers from our batch as well, meaning that we did not get to pick who got to be in our group. Every group was given a certain emotion on which they had to create a short film. Now, this was our very first group project for which we had to curate a proper script with dialogues and everything. A lot of work and brain power from every individual within the group went into this. Everyone's thoughts and opinions were taken under consideration. Everyone got a chance to film at least one shot and to act in at least one scene. We as a group tried our best to include everyone in every stage of production there was for making this film. The end result was a short film we titled Marriage, since the emotion we were given was rage. The link to this project is up on my blog. I feel like this project in particular helped us understand how to properly work in group projects while taking everyone's opinions under consideration and integrating everyone's ideas into the final project. Apart from just the assignments, there was a lot of research work that went into the formation of my final product, starting off with the genre analysis that I conducted at the very start of my AS. During the start of my research, I delved into depths of how psychological thrillers are made. What are the traditional media conventions that are used during the making of all of this? Like the camera shots, such as POV shots, handheld shots, over the shoulder shots, and what emotions they evoke. Why are they used, and why should I be using them in my final product? This same thing goes for the mise en scene, bold saturated colors, low key lighting, costuming, and so much more. The soundscape, whispers, eerie silence, the soundtrack playing in the background, as well as editing, montage sequences, fast paced editings, and the reasonings behind including such elements into psychological thrillers. I conducted my institution research on A24 as they are one of my biggest inspirations due to the fact that they are able to curate such incredible cinematic masterpieces with limited budgets and resources. This research helped me include aspects of A24's films into mine, such as the dreamy effect during the flashback sequence in my movie. It was something that I borrowed from Everything Everywhere All at Once, produced by A24 Films. I conducted my director research on Lee Chung-hyun, a South Korean screenwriter and filmmaker, as I personally am a huge fan of his work and he is most known for his psychological thrillers. I focused on the elements he includes in his films and tried my very best to integrate them into mine as I wanted my audience to feel the same emotions as one does when watching any of his films. Some ideas and stylistic techniques I borrowed from his films were the use of bold and saturated colors, unconventional narrative structures and nonlinear storytelling, and handheld cinematography. The movies I chose to do my research on as reference films were also his films, The Call 2020 and Ballerina. A part of my research was also conducting a research on titles, what font would fit my genre the best, and what emotions it would possibly evoke. To make a film on a mental disorder, I knew I had to at least be educated about it. I carried out an extensive research on schizophrenia, what its symptoms are, what the diagnosis is, what the possible cures could there be, and what is the closest recreations of voices that a schizophrenic person actually hears. By conducting this research, I got an idea of how schizophrenic people actually behave and what aspects should I actually be portraying of the illness into my film for it to be a realistic interpretation of the illness. During the filming for my actual sequence, I encountered what seemed like a huge problem to me at the time. Mostly all parts of my film were heavily relying on natural light. If you view my location photos, you'd have an idea of the exact lighting that I wanted throughout my film. This was a way to challenge traditional media conventions, along with a chance for me to channel my creative freedom into my media product. However, due to time constraints and there being another friend shoot at my house during that day, I could only film half of it during daytime. My actors weren't free or available anytime soon after that exact day, so although at first I rushed and panicked, which is why in the first shot of my movie we can see the elderly woman dressed in bright orange instead of a darker, more dull color, later on I realized that I had to improvise. I detached a tube light from a friend's house and brought it over to mine. I connected it and blurred its light with a large bed sheet and tried my best to recreate the lighting that I wanted artificially. This only became possible through the use of my knowledge about lighting and techniques, as previously I carried out a group project on lighting techniques. So, although the end result isn't something that I wanted initially, I'm glad that I had the skills in me to improvise and sort of get close to recreating the original picture that I had in my mind. And I feel like that's about everything that sums up my journey of how my production skills have developed over time. My final product currently might not have been completely perfect, but I'm content with knowing that I put in a lot of research and effort into this and I tried my best with everything I had, including limited time.